Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome to another Starbase video. Today we're going to be talking about the best ways to make money in Starbase and the best ways in order to save it as well. So let's go ahead and start by jumping in with some of the first things you're going to have to do in order to make money. So when you first start out in Starbase, you are essentially going to have nothing to your name except for possibly your starter ship. Now, if you don't have time to go all the way out to the belt, because it does take a fair amount of time to get out there in the starter ships, it is perfectly fine to go ahead and do the mining, repair, or destruction job on repeat in order to make yourself some money. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you prefer, just know that technically some are better than others. Usually the mining one I find to be most efficient for myself, but that's just something to think about. At the end of the day, you can only make 100,000 credits per day out of this, so don't camp it out. You're gonna have to go out to the belt, and going out to the belt is gonna make you more money in the long haul anyways. Now, when you do get out there to go mine at the belt, there are some things you're going to want to keep in mind. First off is that some ores do sell for more. If we pull open the auction house real quick and we look at the ores tab, you can see how much each type of ore goes for. Depending on what type of area you're in, if you're in the safe zone or not, and how far out you go, you're going to find different ores, which will give you different amounts of money. You're always going to want to check the auction house as often as possible to keep an idea as to what's actually going for a lot. Just to give you an example here, Valkite ore is currently the cheapest on the market, along very closely followed by Agitite. And then you have ice, and these three are the crust of every asteroid. This is why mining the crust of asteroids is not usually very wise. So what you want to do is target the most expensive ore in your area, and if you're in the safe zone, that's going to usually be corrodium. Now, if we take a second look and we actually look at the other ones down here, let's just say we use Agitite for an example. Agitite is currently selling for around 680 credits. If we go over to the sell place, we search down the Agitite area, and we put a stack up to see how much we could sell it for. We're going to say 680 credits, because that's usually the buyout right about now, is going to give us 612 total net credits. Now, if what we want to do is before we go ahead and sell this, we're going to want to go ahead and look over here for Agitite ore on the vendor price, which is currently 544 credits. That means we will make more money off of selling it out of the auction house. Just do keep in mind that you have to always make sure you're checking the profit number down here in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, you might actually be making less money. So let's just say this was going for, say, 600 credits. I would only profit 540 after it sold. Whereas if I sold it here on the actual vendor, I would make 544, so I would make more money that way. Just keep this in mind, this applies to all ores, and it's a good way to save yourself a lot of money and time, and also just profit more in general. Our next way to make money is going to be through research and auction house flipping. If we're talking about research here and we go into the research tree, let's just say we wanted to print a ton of red research. We could either say craft a ton of these station blocks, or we could go ahead and just spam craft a bunch of bolt magazines in order to get that red research. Well, the trick is that the bolt magazines actually can't be vendored whatsoever, and there are so many of them on the auction house that it's nearly impossible to sell them for a decent price. So what you want to go ahead and do is craft the item that gives you the research, and you make the most amount of money back off of to recoup some of that cost. Just to give you an example here, the basic block module only costs you the cheapest resource on the auction house, and that's going to be your Valkite. And you can make a full 20 plus of them out of one stack and then resell them for a profit on the vendor. That means that you can actually recoup, or even in some rare cases, you're able to craft an item and sell it for more than you could have if you just simply vendored the ore or you sold it on the auction house. So that's how we're going to do flipping. So let's just say we go over to the auction house and we want to craft ourselves, say, a battle rifle. A battle rifle is currently going for 489,000 credits. So what we say to is, okay, what does it then cost to create the battle rifle? We'd go look that up. And then if the cost of the resources for the battle rifle is less than how much we can sell it for minus 10%, because you got to remember the tax, then you're actually going to be flipping things and making a huge profit. This is something you want to think about, especially as you get into the later game items, as it's really easy to flip things and make a huge profit off of it because people just don't have the research unlocked. Okay, and the very last way for you to make money is going to be very simple and very straightforward, and that is to join a company. Now, the reason I say this is for a number of different reasons, but the most obvious one is that when you work with people, usually you all profit more because you can make bigger ships, go further distances, be safer outside the safe zone, and bring back all that delicious ore to sell. So just to give you an example of why joining a company would be good, if you were to say leave the safe zone by yourself and lose your ship, you've now just lost all those resources that you put into it and the cost to build it. You're gonna have to make it all over again. So something you might want to keep in mind is that instead of doing that by yourself, when you are going with a company, you could go in multiple ships, mine more ore. One person could bring a big cargo hauler and you could bring, say, 500 ore back in one single trip, rather than going out and only mining 50 or maybe 100 by yourself at a higher risk as well. Now, if you can't find a company to play with, I do recommend you go check out the official Starbase Discord. This is where you're going to be able to find all the different companies that are currently recruiting. You can also make friends in game, or better yet, if you can't find friends in game, make some of your real friends play the game with you. If you still can't find people to play with, then maybe check out our company. I will warn you that we don't take insiders, but everybody else is more than welcome to join us. At the end of the day though, I hope you guys are having fun in Starbase. Don't take the game too seriously and don't invest too much time, but you know what? It's your life. If you want to play 1,000 hours every single week, which makes no sense, go ahead and do it. Thank you so much for watching. Check out our membership program and subscribe if you liked the video, and we'll see you next time.